Well, Senator, thank you again very much for coming and visiting UT Tyler and the Health Science Center here. A couple of years ago, the UT Tyler and the UT Health Science Center at Tyler were merged into a singular institution by the UT System Board of Regents. That has worked out very, very well. With regard to health education and biomedical research, we strategically aligned all of our health programs into a single division of health affairs. It allows us to take advantage of our partnership with what was the East Texas Medical Center, which was merged with our hospital facilities here into a single unit. That gave us essentially 1,000 hospital beds across East Texas that could be utilized to provide and fulfill our mission of providing health care and improving the health of Texans, but also to help us educate doctors, nurses, health professional people, public health people, and so forth, to give them the real life experiences that are needed to educate health professionals. I frequently say you cannot educate the next generation of healthcare professionals without the ability to expose them to patients during their training when the time is appropriate. We have here, within that division of health affairs, we have our School of Nursing, we have our Fish College of Pharmacy, we have our School of Health Affairs, which includes public health, speech therapy, occupational therapy, those types of areas. And, of course, our School of Medicine, our new School of Medicine, which we're so excited about. We've had so much support from the UT System Board of Regents, as well as the community. In fact, we would not have a medical school here in Tyler if it weren't for the proceeds of the sale, the East Texas Medical Center Foundation, providing us with an $80 million gift to get the medical school up and going. And that way, we didn't have to go to Representative Hughes to get the Texas legislature to get us started. We had that gift to get us started.
He brought his checkbook.
Well, there are other things we need from him. And by the way, he was wonderful for us during the legislative session of helping us achieve some mission-critical support for our pharmacy school, which really needed that, as well as additional support to allow us to have an expanded nursing program that's going to address the need for critical care nurses in critical care areas, flight nursing, CRNA program for nurse anesthetists. All these were critical workforce shortages that were in place, and really the COVID crisis brought that to light and caused us to realize how far we were behind with regard to workforce education and training people. So that's my sort of brief introduction. UT Tyler is about health. Over 60% of our budget is that, so it's about health and it's about education, and we bring the two together. And both of them are highly regulated, which we could use some benefit there with reducing some of that overregulation, and help in issues like graduate medical education, which is also something that's very important, training, sure, the residency training, so that we have the professionals that are out there. And maybe Dr. Eloise here can just tell you about our new residency training programs.
Yeah. Good morning, Senator. What a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much. We're honored to have you here.
The honor is mine.
Obviously, you know that graduate medical education is something very key for us here. I always remind ourselves that the goal of our graduate medical education is threefold. One is to train residents here and keep them. Mm-hmm. That's the key one. And we've done very well, Senator. We've done very well. Our family medicine program, for instance, 30% to 40% of those that we train, we keep them right here in this state.
Oh, fantastic.
We do that so well. So that's something we're very happy about. The second reason for graduate medical education is to help us improve healthcare here. And because, you see, the residents, even during training, they contribute to healthcare. So that's the second reason. The third reason our GME is established for is the fact that we help to we've done that so well in the past few years. Just a few years ago, just like Kaum said, the number of our residency programs were just packed. Today we have 18 approved programs.
Wow.
Because of Dr. Kaum's leadership. So, in summary, that's what we're doing. Our emphasis is in primary care, and certainly now in mental health care, we have 3 psychiatry-related residency programs to help us address all these issues, primary care, and certainly we've not forgotten the specialties as well, cardiology, hemonc, and all that. But certainly primary care, because we want to improve health care in these segments, and then mental health care because of the enormous problems we have.
So let me ask you, where are you from originally?
I'm from Nigeria.
So my wife, Heidi, lived as a little girl in Nigeria, and also Kenya. So her parents were missionaries. Her dad's a dentist, and her grandfather was a physician, spent 34 years as a missionary in Africa. And so she has a deep heart for the continent.
Senator, you want to make a couple of comments?
Well, let Dr. Calhoun finish, and then I'm happy to.
No, it's fine. I was just gonna, we can do it in 30 seconds. Just want to mention the new nursing addition that we're building on the main campus there, and sort of give him a quick update on where nursing is these days and what's needed.
The nursing programs, again, welcome. Thank you for being here today. The nursing programs are growing, but we're out of space, so thanks to support from the legislature, and we are now putting an addition on our building, which will create a...
How many nursing students do you all have at any one time?
We have about 2,100 students in the program.
I think we're the 3rd largest in the state.
Third largest in the state. And
So who are 1 and 2?
UT Arlington is number 1, and TWU is number 2.
And about how many do they have comparatively?
Well, UT Arlington is in class by themselves because they have a huge online program. So they're enormous. Nobody in the country touches them. But TWU and UT Tyler are very close. Sometimes we're 2, sometimes we're 3.
So you get about 2,100, and how long is the program typically?
Well, that includes all of our students. So we have the baccalaureate program, and then we have 5 different master's programs right now, and we're adding another, and then we have 2 bachelor programs, and we're adding a 3rd. So that includes all of our undergraduate and graduate programs. And then the new building is going to have the entire bottom floor will be all simulation and skills, so that we can get more students through. Because right now, that's one of the barriers that we have is having enough space to train them.
Okay, great.
And then lastly, Rig, if you could say a little bit about behavioral health and what we're doing in behavioral health and mental health to help the region.
Yeah, absolutely. Behavioral health is one of the primary concerns for East Texas. Outcomes are really challenging, and so it's a primary part of our curriculum, it's a primary part of our TME programs, and our clinical programs. So across the board, really trying to integrate behavioral health in everything we do.
Well, and I work in Washington, so I'm familiar with crazy people. Look, it is great to be here with y'all. Thank you for the hospitality, Dr. Calhoun. Thank you for the hospitality, Mayor, Judge. It's great to be with you. Brian, great to be in your neck of the woods. Thank you for the terrific job you do. And thank all of y'all for the incredible impact you are making in East Texas and the incredible impact you're making in this community. I have a deep love for East Texas. I think this community, the values in East Texas are as strong as they are in any place on the planet. This is a place where common sense is surprisingly common. Where people believe in basic principles, leave me alone, give me the freedom to go pursue my dreams, to go build a business, to go conquer the world. People have strong values that hold our communities together. Tyler is a wonderful and growing city. And I'll tell you, one of the real blessings of Tyler is the phenomenal medical community that's here. It is an unusually strong medical community. For the size of the city, the medical community really does punch above its weight. And that's a testament to the men and women around this table and throughout the community that have really developed spheres of excellence. And so I want to commend you for the great work you're doing and also the great work you're fixing to do. The new expansions in medical school, all of that is going to make a big difference going forward. Look, our state, we all know it, but our state is growing at an incredibly rapid rate. You know, when I was first elected to the Senate in 2012, there were 26 million Texans. Today, 11 years later, there are over 30 million Texans. We've added 4 million Texans in just over 11 years. And the rate has been simple. We have had people come into the state of Texas, more than 1,000 people a day, every single day for more than 10 years. People are voting with their feet. People understand across the country, they're in other states, a lot of them are coming from big blue states. California is by far the biggest number. Babylon Bee had a fairly amusing satirical piece where they said, Texas is building a wall on our southern border consisting of nothing but discarded one-way U-Haul trucks from California. And they had a picture of all the stacked up U-Haul trucks. Look, there's some truth to that. Texas is where the jobs are. That's why folks come here, because you can come here and you can get a job and you can provide for your family and give your kids a good school and you can live in a safe community where you don't have to worry about them getting shot or killed at school, and you can have a backyard and throw a football with your kid, and you can be in a community where you know your neighbors and have the kind of connection that you know you used to see in Mayberry. But that's something that is real today in East Texas, and it's part of why people love living in this community, because you really do have those ongoing connections that make it strong. And so I'll tell you, as your senator, I view central to my responsibility is fight to preserve everything that makes Texas so extraordinary. Fight to preserve jobs. Fight to preserve freedom. Fight to preserve security. Fight to keep East Texas the glistening jewel that it is. So I just commend the great work you're doing. My goal here is to speak about 10% and to listen about 90%. So I'm already running up against my ceiling. But really what I want to do is I want to hear from y'all. I want to hear from you about the challenges you're facing. I want to hear what's exciting about the growth, UT Tyler, the growth of the medical school, what's exciting about the next chapters. But I also want to hear what's frightening, what keeps you up at night, what scares you, what threats coming down the road are you sitting here worried about that maybe we're not prepared to deal with, and what are the challenges you're facing. And, you know, I can probably close by just giving you words that I know are deeply comforting to everyone here. I'm Ted. I'm from the government, and I'm here to help you.
Well, on that note,
Suddenly the room clears out.
Yeah, let me just say that we don't want to monopolize your time on this visit to Tyler, because there are several other groups that are very anxious to have a chance to meet you. But Matt Cope and I frequently go to Washington and to the Capitol, and there are issues that are critical to higher education and issues that are critical to health care delivery that we would love to meet with your staff about, as well as have a few minutes to talk to you about from time to time. And so if we have an invitation to always come visit.
You have an open invitation.